Covers war diplomacy, trade, environment, define international relations. Realism versus liberalism. State-centric, anarchy, power, self-help, Morgenthau. Set of theories. Define set of interaction among state, MNC, non-state actors. Covers wars, diplomacy, trade, environment. Realism versus liberalism. Realism, liberalism. State-centric, anarchy, power, self-help, Morgenthau. Liberalism, cooperation, institution, interdependence. What is constructivism? Anarchy is what states makes of it. State interest identities are socially instructed. Identities. Why is UNSC reforms difficult? The balance of power. Distribution military plus economic capability to prevent hegemony. Classical multipolar. Post-Cold War. Unpolar to multipolar shift. Unipolar to multipolar. Classical multipolar post-Cold War. UN security. What is UN reform difficult? Veto power of P5P, competing regional claims, lack of consensus. Responsibility to protect. State has duty to protect citizens. If state fails, international community can intervene. Used in Libya 2011, criticized in Syria. UN peacekeeping success versus failure. Cambodia 1992, Namibia. UN peacekeeping success failure. Success. Cambodia 1992, Namibia failure. Rwanda 1994, Somalia shift from traditional to multidimensional mandate. UN peacekeeping success. Namibia failure. Rwanda. Somalia shift from traditional to multidimensional. UN peacekeeping success versus failure. Cambodia, Namibia failure, Rwanda 1994, Somalia shift from traditional. Global political economy. Global political economy. IMF World Bank criticism. Bretton Woods institution accused Washington consensus. Conditionally North-South bias. BRICS NDB. Bretton Woods institutions. Washington consensus. India opposes agri subsidies cuts. WTO. Demands of public stock holding. Food security. Doha round failed. Globalization impacts on state. Globalization impact on state. State sovereignty are reduced in economic plus tech domain. States are key security welfare, rise of mineralism, Indian foreign policy. Non-alignment to multi-alignment. Global impact on state. State sovereignty reduced in economic and tech domain. States are key for security welfare, rise of many lateralisms. Indian relations. Non-alignment to multi-alignment. Now 1961, avoid Cold War blocks. 1991, strategic autonomy, multi-alignment. Engage US, Russia, EU, ASEAN simultaneously. US, Russia, EU, European Union, ASEAN. India-China relations, cooperation, BRICS, WTO. Conflict in border, trade difficult. Deficit. Indo-Pacific, Galwan to 2020 reset. Competition, engagement. India-US relations, shift from estrangement to strategic partnerships. safety, neighborhood first policy, SARC BIMSTECs, India Ocean focus, neighborhood first policy, SARC BIMSTECs, Indian Ocean focus, connectivity security, challenge Pakistan China, border road initiatives, contemporary issue, climate governance, Paris Agreement, Paris Agreement, Paris Agreement, NDC 1.5 temperature, global warming, COP29, focus on loss plus damage fund, India pushes climate justice, rise of populism, Trump, Brexit, Modi, Bolsonaro show nationalism over multilateralism, weekends promote bilateralism, multilateralism, show nationalism, cyber, AI governance, no global treaty yet, India advocates digital sovereignty, digital sovereignty, digital sovereignty, Paris Agreement, cyber plus AI governance, global treaty yet, actually no global treaty, OECD AI principles, India advocates digital sovereignty, data localizations, Trump, Brexit, Modi, Bolsonaro promote bilateralism, budget, role of CAG on 48, 20 requirement promotion disciplinary matters, e-governance, ICT for good service, digital India, DBT, Aadhaar improves transparency, right to information Act 2005, total transparency, accountability, citizen can seek into from public authority, information from, strengthen participatory governance, mission Karmayogi, civil service capacity building, shift from rule based to role based for future ready bureaucracy, shift from rule based to role based, exam, define plus features plus criticism, define 6 features, criticism, define features, criticism, Indian context, waiver bureaucracy, define, mutton red tape, expenditure, stage preparation, enactment, execution audit, Indian administration, steel frame, Sardar Patel term as ISS steel frame of the national unity, continuity, still relevant but faces political interference, Generalist criticism. Role of a district collector. Pivot of district administration. Handles law order, revenue development, post 73rd Amendment. 73rd Amendment. Role, role reduced but still central. Constitutionalize Panchayati Raj, three-tier systems. 29 subject, reservation for women, SC/ST, more local governance. Other subject, reservation. Women, SC/ST. Constitutionalize Panchayati Raj over three-tier systems. Other subject, 73rd. Reservation for SC/ST. Model local governance constitutional. Financial. What is the new public administration? New public administration. Minnobrook administration. Value based, relevant, equity oriented, focus on social change. Huh? Human relation behavioral. How do Hawthorne experiment prove? Mayo provide social factors. Moral effect. Productivity more than physical condition. Simon decision making theory. Admin decision making due to bounded rationality. Admin satisfies, not maximize. Satisfies. Rejected classical POST curve. Post curve. What is the new public administrations? New public management versus new public service. Government like business. Market, 3S, customer, NPS. Government as servant, citizens, democratic values, collaboration. 8 principle participation, rule law, transparency, responsiveness, accountability, equity, effectiveness, consensus. Good governance. UNDP 8 principles, participation, rule of law, transparency, responsiveness, accountability, equity, effectiveness, consensus, good governance, UNDP 8 principles, participation, rule of law, transparency, responsiveness. Equity, effectiveness, consensus, good governance. Public management, new public service. NPS, government as servant, citizens, democratic values, collaboration, government like business. Public administration, human relation plus behavioral. What is a Hawthorne experiment? Social factors, workers, moral effect, productivity. Simon decision making theory. Decision making due to the bounded rationality. Satisfied, not maximized. Mayo prove social factors, worker, moral effect. may provide social worker moral effect more than physical condition led to human relations. Classical theories. What is scientific management? Taylor's theory used in time motion study. Separate planning from execution. Taylor's theory used time motion study. Separate planning from execution. Separate planning. Select workers scientifically to maximize efficiency. Explain Weber's bureaucracy. Ideal type with hierarchy merit. Hierarchy, merit rules, impersonality, written records, criticize for red tape, gold displacement, iron cage, scientific management. Taylor's theory used time motion study, separate planning from execution, select workers scientifically to maximize efficiency, separate planning from execution, select workers scientifically to maximize efficiency. Ideal type with hierarchy, merit rules, impersonality, written records. Define public administration. Is it art of or science? Public administration. Implementation of government policy plus management of public affairs. It is both science for principle, art for practice. Public-private administration. Define public administration. Government policy plus management. Public affairs. It both science and for principle, art for practice. Wilson called government in action. Public versus private administration. Public political accountability, service motive, monopoly, legal framework. Private or profit motive, public service motive, monopoly, legal framework. और तो सांग what is scientific management? Taylor's theory used time motion study, separate planning from execution. Weber's bureaucracy. Ideal type with hierarchy, merit rules, impersonality, written records. Hale's 14 principles. Unit of command, unit of reduction, scalar chain, centralization, equity for top levels. Scientific theory use time motion study, separate planning from execution, select workers scientifically to maximize efficiency. Ideal type with hierarchy, merit, rules, impersonality, written records, criticize for red tape, gold displacement, iron age. Use time motion study, separate planning from execution, select workers scientifically to maximize efficiency. Service motive, monopoly, legal framework. Human relations, behavioral. What Hawthorne experiment prove? Mayo proved social factors first worker moral affect productivity more than physical conditions. Led to human relations school. Simon's decision making theory. Bounded rationality admins satisfy, not maximize. Decision making due to bounded rationality. Admins sacrifice, not maximize. Define public administration. Is it art or science? Public administration, implementation of government policy plus management of public affairs. It is both science for principles, art for practice. Wilson called it governor in action. Public administration, implementation of government policy. Political accountability, service motive, monopoly, legal framework. Profit motive, competition, flexibility. Administration is service motive, monopoly, legal framework. Private profit motive. Good governance. Rule of law, transparency, responsiveness, equity, effectiveness. New public service, NPS. NPS says government roles in service, citizen democracy. Not just act business, public choice theory. Bureaucrats are self-interested budget maximizers. Bureaucrats, self-interested budget. New public management, run government like business using market mechanism. Customer focus, run government like business. New public administration, what is the NPA? Admin should be relevant, value based, client oriented, focus on equity plus social challenge. Admin should be relevant, value based, client oriented, focus on equity plus social change. Value based, client oriented. Rick's prismatic Sala model. Prismatic society have overlapping formal. Simon decision making, but bounded rationality. Administration cannot have full information, so they satisfy instead of maximizing. System approach. How does system theory for administration view? New public administration. NPA 1960 demand. Admin should be relevant, value based, client. Weber's bureaucracy. Rational legal authority based the hierarchy, merit, rules, impersonality. Fails administrative management. Principal management for the top level administration like unity, command, scholar. Taylor's scientific management. Taylor, what should be studied scientifically to maximize efficiency through time motion study. Hawthorne experiment, social relation, Walker moral effect, productivity, Maslow hierarchy. Human needs in hierarchy, physiological safety, social esteem, self-actualization. Actually, Cabinet Secretary, National Development Council, citizen. PESA 1996, Panchayat Extension 1996, Urban Local Bodies. Tribal self-governance based state control is means Municipal administration, mayor and council versus commissioner. State Finance Commission. Why do SFC recommendation not get implemented? Panchayat Raj is third tier of government. Tribal self-governance versus state control issue. State secretariat plus dictatorate. Directorate. Collector is pivot of the district admin. Divisional commissioner. What does this colonial institution? PMO cabinet secretariat. Central secretariat. Evolution. Constitutional and historical framework. From colonial administration to modern Indian administration. Macaulay constitutional provision. Administrations 256 to 7356 effect central state admin. Sardar Patel called. Rule of lapse, supplementary budget, excess grant, performance budgeting, gender budgeting, outcome budget, fiscal federalism, zero-based budgeting, budget 1 and 12 money bill, postage, role of institution. Use latest budget figures, capex, lakhs crore current data, issue reforms, way for outcome orientation. Budget as political document. Budget reflects ideology of ruling party. Outcome versus output budgeting. Integral outcome budget improve governance. Budget transparency, open budget index. How transparent is in India budget process? Green budgeting, carbon tax. Is India moving towards climate sensitive budgeting? Capex push, fiscal consideration, green growth. MNREGA, PMAY, Pradhan Awas Yojana, PM Kisan. Welfare spending percentage. State budget, fiscal federalism, grants in aid, gender budget, child plus child budget, fiscal policy reform. Fiscal responsibility target, escape clause, tax reforms, GST, direct tax code, public debt, internal versus external is India debt, DBT plus Aadhaar, direct benefit transfer, change budget execution, internal plus versus external, GST direct tax code, how do tax reforms, contingency fund, consolidated fund, public account, CG, PSC, audit parliamentary control, audit parliamentary control, parliament control, role of Lok Sabha, Rajya Sabha, money bill, 80, revenue versus capital, Annually universality. Types of budget. Annuality, universality, unity, specificity. And the budget cycle 4 stages. Preparation, annual financial statement. Financial admin structure. Concept define. Legal basis X budget. Core idea. Admin as instruments of change, not just law order. Administrative development versus developmental administration. Developmental administration in India post 1991. New public management market. New public management market. New public management. National development SDG 117. Admin be resigned. Digital development other deputy PM GKY. Tech made admin more development. Participatory development SSG social audit Ram Sabha. Participatory development. New public management market social audit Gram Sabha. Other deputy PM GKY. Administrative reforms. Poverty alleviation engineering. Bureaucracy development collector as agent of change. Role of admin in plan development. How is it different from traditional administration? Change orientation, client focus, time bound. Ecology of admin. Criticism is development administration Eurocentrics. Rule of lapse. Burden account. Consolidated fund, contingency fund, outcome budget, fiscal federalism. Appropriation. Tax administration, that GST councils. Cooperative federalism. Public debt, internal versus external debt. Grant in aid, Article 275. Central schemes affect state autonomy. Digital payment, DBT, GST reforms. Financial Commission. 20 role in central state fiscal relations. CAG watchdog of public purse. Power audit types in CAG. Parliamentary control, public account committee. Estimate committee, public auditing committee. Budget is a political document, not just financial. Types of budget: line item, performance, zero based, preparation, enactment, execution, audit. Role of finance ministry, budget cycle, parliament CAG, preparation, enactment, execution. Performance budgeting, deficit, consumption, fiscal deficit, revenue deficit, primary deficit.